Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
Welcome back to yet another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. It's your guy Scott. We got Courtney, we got Bang, we got Mikey in the building today. Dante is not here. He is doing some other stuff today. So we've got the four of us here today to begin this Friday edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. You know to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BarberChair Scott. You know to follow the Barbers Chat Network at BarbersChatNet on Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe to the patreon.com/Barbers Chat Network. Shout out to everybody who enjoyed the latest episode of Summer Sessions, which was pretty hilarious. We got to shout out Merk and Bang for that one because that went off a cliff very quickly.
No,
Like
no, no,
niggas,
no, no. That's all Merc. That's all Merc.
that was all
That's
Merk.
that's all Merc.
It was one of the most entertaining episodes. Like sometimes, like what I love about doing summer sessions, I don't have to like plot anything. Like for I'm not gonna hold you, it's a full thing. Like I gotta do the full, get the stats, make sure I got players' names right, making sure I ain't saying no bullshit. With summer sessions, man, we just go in there, we just roll, dog. We just roll and talk our shit. So shout out to everybody who fucks with that, man. But we just gonna get right to it with the catch up, man. As you can see, I'm about to put up in here right now. I apologize for any kind of technical delay that we have here because I am producing and hosting because Dante left us hanging in our time of need. But this is our rundown that we got today. We're gonna begin with the catch up, sound off, talk about Eagles Vikings last night. Aaron Rodgers has a torn Achilles, which means he's done for the season. Is he done for the career? Mikey gonna hit us with his weekly parlay. Then we're going to get into our NFL Week 2 predictions. And then in the local hour, it'll be me, Bang, and Mikey. We'll be giving you a full preview of Bears, Bucks. I will tell you how I felt about these niggas when I went up to Hallis Hall this week. And newsflash, it was not a good feeling about what happened this couple days that I was up there, man. And then, of course, we give Goofy Mog of the week to end the week. But let's just get into our catch-up, man. How's everybody doing? It's the weekend. The fall weather, at least in Chicago, you can smell it in the air, which I don't like, and maybe want to go on Expedia very quickly and go back home to Los Angeles because I don't want to deal with this shit. But how's everybody else doing?
I ain't got nothing going on. Life's real quiet. The season's almost back. Life is good.
Yeah, it's been a depressing week. I done had to deal with death and shocking family news and stuff. You was talking about Benny's before we had got started. I don't have to go to Benny's because I got rock tequila in the crib in my closet, and I got Don Julio Reposado in the closet. So
Oh,
once
damn.
we're done, I'm gonna have some jerk chicken
Damn.
and some tequila.
The
So
man.
y'all already know where that's headed.
That
So
sounds
you're a
like a
man.
great
So
fucking
you're a
Friday.
man of class as well. I see you're a
Yeah.
man
You
of
got you goddamn right I'm a
class as
man of
well.
class.
No, that's on fire shit. I need to go over there. Everything's smooth over here, man. Another day in paradise. Feeling like shit after our Bears, but we'll get into that.
We'll definitely get into that, man. I'm feeling good this weekend. I don't have too much to do this weekend. We're gonna be doing the I'm Not Gonna Hold You intro video. We got a full intro video. So I'm gonna get my real production shit on. Shout out to my man, the boy Illinois, who does our entrance music that you hear. Hopefully you heard all of it today, because sometimes StreamYard be lagging. I don't know what the hell be going on. But hopefully you heard all of it today. But we're gonna be having an actual full intro video that I'm shooting this week. I'm not wasting my time in Tampa Bay, Florida. So I will be here watching football on a 70-inch TV here in my mom's crib. And then, we'll do 7 Night in Hallis. Shout out to everybody who listens to 7 Night in Hallis too, because, Mikey joined us last week. Everybody said it helped them get through the bullshit that was last week. But I will say this. I wanted to bring this up. That Diddy album is fucking fire. I'm a Puff stan. Okay, like I have been a fan of this. The first rap video I ever remember seeing in my entire life it's all about the Benjamins. So I am a Puff guy. You know what I'm saying? I have never met Puff. The closest I've gotten to Puff, I actually sent out his Christmas gifts when I worked at the FedEx in the UCLA area, Westwood, like 8 years ago. And I actually held that nigga black card in my hand. And I was like, I could do a lot with this right now. This is this was like when we had the, remember the scooter craze, like in 2015, everybody had the damn scooter.
Mm-hmm.
So Puff had like 30 scooters he sent out. And I technically was supposed to go home, but I was like, man, it's Puff, nigga. Like I'm gonna do this just because I'm a fan, nigga. Like fuck the overtime. I'm gonna do this just because I'm a fan. I was sending shit to like Jamie Foxx and niggas like that. So like I'm a huge Puff guy. But as my man Bang said on his Instagram today, this that hug your girl from behind and bite her neck.
Oh yes.
This is quality R&B. Quality R&B.
Talk your shit talk it for people that's nasty like me. That's what I'm talking about. Now, full disclosure, I heard half of the album in Atlanta last year. Puff. Yeah, well, not at Tyrese. Well, this was separate, but I heard Tyrese's album and Puff's album, half of it in the same weekend or the same week. So I had told Scott, like, yo, he keep playing songs. He's like 4 for 4, 5 for 5. Did the same thing with Usher. So I've been waiting on this album for a full year. And like I said, yes, this is bite the back of your girl neck, hugger from the back music. This is that look her in the eye after you slip up and don't pull out music and let her know, like, look, I do love you. You know what I'm saying? Or I like you a lot. You know what I'm saying? This is play with the kitty music. You know what I'm saying? This is slow stroke music. Shouts out to Puff for bringing it back. All right.
Shout out to Sean Jonathan Combs, nigga.
Yes, that joint with her,
nigga. That's the perfect way to end the album. Look, this nigga brought vintage Babyface back. Now I'm not gonna play that song more than once because it's a very sad song. Talk about Kim Porter, but that nigga brought. Oh, I'm like, nigga, Babyface ain't sound like this is like '92, nigga. This
nigga,
is some real shit. So I'm gonna be playing that album all this weekend. Shout out to Puff on that, but also shout out to Drake too. I like that Drake coming out too. It's getting fall when Drake start dropping shit. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them kind of things, man. So that's the new music I've been listening to start this weekend. So, but y'all not here to hear us talk about hip hop. So we are going to talk about sports, and I will begin with my sound off. I will begin my sound off today. I think with this week, man, it's actually we're gonna go a little NBA with this one. My sound off this week is basically for the Milwaukee Bucks to stop playing in Giannis' face. Stop playing in Giannis' face. People think because Giannis is not from America that he's this Greek, and actually he's Nigerian. Let's cut the fucking shit. I know he went to, he was born in, he lived in Greece, whatever, but nigga, you are Nigerian. But anyway, don't fuck up. The one thing in the NBA that people need to understand compared to the NFL, compared to Major League Baseball, it's a superstar-driven league. If you got you one of these mega superstars out there, like a Giannis, you can go out there and win a championship. Now, Giannis has been going on a kind of like a podcast run, which is funny because Giannis doesn't talk that much. So this is why I think you should pay attention to this. So he was on the 42 Minutes podcast. He said when they were asking about, how last season ended, of course, with losing to the Miami Heat, and how coming into the season, how he feels about being with the team. And I think he only has like 1 or 2 years left on his contract. And Giannis said, and I quote, "I'm a Milwaukee Buck, but most importantly, I'm a winner. If there's a better situation for me to win than Larry O'Brien, I have to take a look at a better situation." Now, this is what I call, in today's era, we call shit like a soft quit, where you really quit mentally before you actually fucking quit. This to me is a soft trade request. As I feel like he's telling them, yo, don't think just because I signed an extension that I'm just 100% going to keep messing with this shit that y'all got. I want a championship. Y'all better surround me with the correct motherfuckers or I'm out this bitch. And so I'm going to look into camera when I'm saying this shit right now. Milwaukee Bucks, hear me and hear me good. Whatever that man wants, you go ahead and get him. This is like when your girl start bringing up shit that you ain't used to do. And you like, oh, I done been with her for a long time. She ain't going nowhere. And then she leave, and you like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? This is the warning sign, okay? This is the warning sign. Take the warning sign and do what he needs you to do. For this nigga is playing in Los Angeles when LeBron retires, and he comes and he's playing with AD, or he goes to Miami or wherever the fuck he want to go. So I think it's time for the Milwaukee Bucks to stop bullshit and get it done. You know what I'm saying? What did Jaheim said? Put that woman first. Put Giannis first, nigga. Put Giannis first. Do y'all have any comments on what I'm sounding off on today?
Nah, I echo the sentiments completely. You don't let someone like that go. You do everything you can to keep them happy. Keep Giannis happy, Milwaukee. Don't fumble the bag like the Brewers have with their franchise. You got a good thing. Hold on to it.
Hold on to it. As I like to see, ain't nothing out here. Ain't nothing out here. If it's workable, work on it. God damn it, there's nothing out here. Oh, what was that one you said? Have you ever heard of Tulum, nigga? Don't do it. Just stay what you got. You don't want, yeah, like you want Chris Middleton being your number one.
On ice cream anymore.
Yeah, you want Chris Middleton being your number one? I don't think so. So you need to go ahead and change that.
Man, Giannis just need to say, yo, I don't want to be here, and that's it. I don't think this is a situation where he playing in their face. He basically telling them, I'm out, you know what I'm saying? Let's just figure this out. Because it's Milwaukee. Let's be real. I think Buddy Ass just tired of being in Milwaukee. I think that as he sees the world now, he's not the dude that walked to the arena. All right. He's somebody who's now worldly, that's been around the world, who feeling himself and all of that. So now he like, look, I was in that because that was the only thing that's there. But now that I'm seeing the world, I want new cooch. And that's what he's looking for. That's simply what this is. Y'all see Giannis on Instagram talking about how he had certain things for the first time. Oh man, I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for the first time. Like fam, like seriously? Like he was really naive when he got in the league. He's no longer that. And now since he's no longer that, he's no longer a virgin. Look, man, he just out here just trying to get all the ass he can get. And if that's in Chicago, because he's mentioned that, he wouldn't mind wanting to play for the Bulls. If that's New York, if that's wherever, he gonna be there in a year or two. You could bet your bottom dollar on that.
So what you're saying is she's already out the door, and there's
Already
nothing.
out the door.
She already out the door. She already don't know what nigga she talking to. She just
She
pretty much
already
letting you.
talking to other niggas. She's
Yeah,
already
like
talking to other niggas.
exactly. Your woman mentally leaves you 3 months before she actually does it. So that's
Exactly.
probably where the phase is with what that is. Mikey, what do you feel about this before we move on?
No, I agree. Giannis is already shooting them texts like, yeah, that's just my roommate. We just live together. You know what I'm saying? We don't really go together. It's complicated. It's complicated, But no, I think it's the truth, what Bang is saying. And Giannis, you got to give it to Giannis. Giannis stuck to his guns. He gave Milwaukee what they deserved. He stuck around, he signed the extension, they won the chip. He went from a pup to being, the face of the franchise. And like Bang said, now he's seeing it's a player driven league. And shit, if everybody else could force their way out, I'm definitely gonna be able to force my way out. And I come with the cachet of I got a ring. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually have a ring coming with me. So yeah, I mean I can see it right now. I can see Giannis down here in Miami and hitting booby trap on the weekends with a little crochet shirt and Jimmy Butler next to him with coffee and shit. So stay
Going to
tuned.
see Messi play.
Exactly. So yeah, he's on the way out and he's setting it up for it. I mean, look at Jrue Holiday's gonna be 33, 34. Middleton's gonna be around the same age. Their contracts are pretty much ending within about the next year or two. So it's lined up. Everything is lining up for, what are we doing here?
Definitely. That concludes the NBA portion of today's show. And that's for my hoops and brews people out there. That we gave y'all 5 minutes of NBA shit. We'll holler at y'all niggas in October. But let's go on. Let's get back to the greatest league on planet Earth. That is the National Football League. Last night was the first Thursday night football game of the season. Shout out to my great and personal friend Taylor Rooks. Great presentation last night. So it was Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. The final score was Eagles 34, Vikings 28. Jalen Hurts threw for went 18 to 23, threw for 193 yards, had one touchdown, one pick. Also carried the ball 12 times, 35 yards for two touchdowns. Devonta Smith, amazing game, four receptions, 131 yards, one touchdown. DeAndre Swift in his Eagles debut had 28 carries, old school game. 175 yards, one touchdown. In fact, the Eagles ran the ball 48 times. So this was real old school
Shouts out to my
NFL.
fantasy.
Shout out to Banks fantasy team. On the other end, the bum ass Vikings are now on to Kirk Cousins put up mystery numbers that make you think this nigga had a good game. But if you watch, you like this is typical Kirk Cousins. 31 for 44, 364 yards, four touchdowns, had one fumble. Free Justin Jefferson, he had 11 receptions, 159 yards, a fumble, which became a touchback, which I hate that fucking rule. We'll get into that in a minute. And the rookie Jordan Addison had three receptions, 72 yards, and his second touchdown of the season, man. Mikey, I'm gonna give it to you, man. What do you think about what happened last night? Were you impressed by the Eagles or anything in this game?
I wasn't really necessarily impressed by the Eagles. I think they're struggling. They're struggling out the gate. I think Nick Sirianni even said as much last week when he says he wishes he would have played his starters during preseason. But I knew they were gonna win their home opener. That Philly crowd was there. I'm on the opposite of you. The Vikings didn't lose that game because of Kirk Cousins. They lost that game because they can't hold on to the ball. Kirk Cousins playing with backup center, a third string left tackle, loses the right tackle in the middle of the game. He was getting his ass knocked around all night and was still able to hang in the pocket, make big time throws, gave him a chance. They just couldn't stop, they couldn't stop the Eagles run game. But that was a very winnable game for the Vikings right there. So from what I take from it is last year, we saw that the Vikings won 11 one-score games, and positive regression was coming. There's no way that they're gonna win that many games. So they're staring at 0-3. They're staring down the barrel at 0-3. You got the Chargers coming up next week, and
Mm.
it's gonna get very interesting. We'll get into it in our next segment when we talk about the Jets. But I think Kirk Cousins might be a perfect trade option for them if shit starts to continue to go south up in Minnesota.
Yeah, I like how they were actually talking about. It's actually funny that you brought that up because Rich Eisen actually brought that up on the show today about Kirk Cousins being in there. But what I was saying about Kirk Cousins was I didn't say that I wasn't saying that that's how they lost the game. I'm saying that was typical Kirk Cousins mystery stats. Because if you watch the game, you think, oh, he was killing. He really wasn't killing. It was just typical Kirk Cousins. Like he didn't have a bad game, but it was
I
just
mean, he
like.
threw for like over three something, four TDs, no
But don't he
picks. I
do
mean, he
that
had
like
the one
all the
fumble.
time?
I mean, yeah, but not on prime time. They didn't, on prime time. Normally, he's the reason they lose. He's giving it up. I mean, you got a fumble on special teams. You got a fumble by Justin Jefferson. I hate that rule too, but I can see both sides of it. So, I mean, he did his thing. He did his thing. In my eyes, they just couldn't stop the run, man. DeAndre Swift was lighting their ass up.
Yeah. Oh, real quick before I do, I just want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out, man, Ola Ortiz. He called Kirk Cousins Great Lakes Jeff Garcia. Shout out my man Jay Hood from ESPN 1000. He said NFL don't care about banged up, sore bodies of these players on a short week. Then people wonder why some teams look sloppy on Thursday Night Football. Get that money, Goodell. You are correct. There's a couple things that's funny about that. One, that we expect that these pro athletes to play two hard football games in 5 days and get good football. One is that. Two, we also know who has shitty Wi-Fi when Thursday Night Football comes on because everybody's complaining about the quality of it. I'm like, oh, this shit looks amazing to me. You niggas still
Yeah.
got the little shitty router. So, but bang, what back go to what you were saying?
No, man. Not only are y'all right about Minnesota, because all of them one score games and stuff like that. I mean, I hate when people talking about the Jets, and I know we're gonna be talking about that a little bit later. But who's gonna come over to save the Jets then? Zach Wilson. I think that the NFL is one of the few leagues is that you stuck with who you have, and I think they stuck with Kirk Cousins at least for right now because he's going to be the person that give you the best chance to win. And I also don't think that you're going to get a big ass haul to get Kirk Cousins to do what Kirk Cousins does. With that being said, they gonna get Justin Jefferson like very upset if all of this continue to happen. They didn't bring back Dalvin Cook. Matson is probably not as good as you thought that he was going to be as the starter. And they did lose a lot of people on the offense and and the defensive side. They are one of those teams that did a soft reboot or are trying to do a soft reboot. So is it going to work? Not with the Bears, which we'll get into a little bit later. But when you have Green Bay, who looks like they do have their quarterback of the future in Jordan Love, and then you have Detroit being the way that they are, hey, man, you probably best of just blowing it all the way up instead of trying to do something soft because you're going to be smack dab in the middle and not being able to improve.
Yeah, Courtney, what you think about that?
I think honestly, okay, so first off, wasn't the game like 27-14 at one point?
Yeah,
Like
or something like that.
Yeah.
like the Eagles kind of let the Vikings hang in there a lot longer than they should have. And if anything, I think that game is a lot more telling about the Eagles and maybe the issues that they have as a team. Also, I know I wasn't
Hmm.
the only one who saw that little Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown little skirmish on the
Mm-hmm.
sideline. I know AJ Brown was kind of supposed to be, wide receiver one, and who's to say that the touches aren't going to change, next week, a new game plan, but just kind of, I guess, be on the lookout, see how that develops and how that plays out. I mean, listen, having a wealth of options offensively is never a bad thing for a quarterback, especially when they are still starting to get their footing in the league, like Jalen Hurts is. But that could be an issue. Also, Darius Slay Jr. was getting cooked last night.
Mm-hmm.
Cooked.
It's like 32. We might need to figure out that because it was not good.
Big play Slay was getting cooked. I'm glad you brought up the Eagles things. I want to talk about that real quick before we move on to Aaron Rodgers. That's the thing, but I said this on Twitter maybe like before the season started. I said Jalen Hurts had a really great season. I personally want to see it again. I think with quarterbacks, I feel like you need at least 2 to 3 years of excellent play before we know if this guy is elite or not. And I think we're seeing that with Josh Allen. Like Josh Allen, he's looking like, as Mikey and Courtney said a couple weeks ago, he's looking like a dummy brick. He's looking like this is just who he is. So last night, I mean, I think Jalen had an okay game, but I was questioning like some of the throws. That interception looked as bad as Justin's interception did on Sunday.
That shit was terrible.
It was terrible. I didn't like some of the play calls, and then like you said, Courtney, with the back and forth with AJ Brown. This thing about AJ Brown, you got to remember, wide receivers are divas. That's just who they are. Naturally, the divas, and also I feel them because they're getting paid off how many receptions they have, how many touchdowns they have, and it looks like maybe this is just a 1 game sample. Obviously, it looks like this is going to be more of a running team than it was last year, and that's probably going to be something that AJ Brown isn't too pleased to, and also Devontae Smith. He's his rising right now. He is young. He's gonna build off that great season he had last year. Maybe that he's gonna try to position himself for him to be the number one, and that's something that AJ Brown isn't particularly happy with. So I think it was a good win for them. A win is a win, especially early in the season when you're 2-0 and in an unpredictable division like the Eagles are. But there were some things that I would definitely pay attention to later on in the season that kind of stood out for me for the Eagles in that game. So
Now I think that running the ball thing was just last night. They don't really want to run the ball. They want to dink it over. I think the issue with AJ Brown is that you got Devontae, you got Goddard over there. You don't really want to share the ball like that. When one's hot, you not, and vice versa. So he just got to get with it because at the end of the day, right now, it's just about can this team continue to rise, and he's gonna get his. He just ain't get it last night.
definitely. Let's move on to our next topic, man. Our last time y'all heard from us was Matt last Monday as we getting ready for the first Monday night football game between the Jets and the Buffalo Bills. Of course, the Jets won that game on a miraculous kick return touchdown. But the news from that was Aaron Rodgers, his Jets career only lasted 4 plays. He did not complete a pass. He fell on that MetLife turf that took Eddie Jackson and Darnell Mooney last year. That was some of the 2 things I remember from actually being in that game. I had the worst hangover my 30s while covering that game last year. So that's one of the few things I remember is those 2 dudes being injured. Oh, he got hurt. All the air got sucked out the building. It's always funny to me when you have these big NFL games and there's like all these celebrities, on the sidelines. You Justin Timberlake, Method Man. They had motherfucking Carmelo Soprano. It was a whole
Don't forget about Sexy Red.
They had Big
Sexy
Sexy.
Red. Sexy Red. Can't forget about her. She was out there doing her thing. She's becoming the president of like rap. And Bane called us on Summer Sessions months ago, by the way. But I just feel like, Aaron Rodgers hit the turf, and as somebody who has seen Aaron Rodgers hit the floor multiple times as a Bears fan, I was like, that nigga gonna be up in a second. He didn't get up. Even when they took him to the back, I was like, okay, he gonna do the same shit he did to us 5 years ago when we took him out and he came back and ended
Ah,
our life
you're
in
gonna
the
hit him with
second
that
half.
tour, dog. He was gonna come
Oh,
out there on
smelling
one
skunks
leg.
like a hockey player.
Yeah. But then I just, I didn't like, I saw his body language. I'm like, oh, this might be serious. And so after the big game, they went in whatever, and you saw Robert Salah's face, and he's basically gonna be like, yo, we're fucked. Like, he's done. So I really I don't laugh at injuries. I'll be very clear. I don't laugh at injuries, but I tried to feel remorse for him as a human being. I'm sorry. I just didn't have it. It was just not there. This man has ruined my life more time, more of my Sundays, ruined my Mondays, ruined my Thursdays so many times over the last 15 years. I just didn't have it in me. So I say, good fucking riddance. Do I think that he is retiring? No, I don't think he's going to go out like that. I don't think he's just going to have his career to just be one pass. But it was something that, to me, he's older now. So I think it's going to be kind of hard to come back from that. But I do think he will be back. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going out like that. That's
Oh, shit.
Muted it.
Yeah, my fault. There we go. I told you we having
Nah, you
technical
muted it again.
difficulties.
You
And
gotta
I'm
take her
muted
out. There you
again.
go. There you go.
yeah, well,
Preseason matters.
you got
There
it.
we go. Yeah, preseason matters. Go ahead.
No, Mike, you got it. Oh, okay, me.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
you go.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going out like that. If there's one thing about that man, he is incredibly petty, and I think will fuel him to get back. So I don't think this is the way it is. It really sucks though. Like, talk about a hard knock. Like that's a brutal beat. You really got to feel for him as an athlete, as a fan of the game. It would have been better with him in the quarterback position. So super bummed that I'm not going to be able to watch Jets games under the same lens. But I still feel pretty optimistic to a degree about the Jets. I don't think the season is a complete wash, but that could very well change.
I'm gonna keep it honest. I don't give a fuck. Fuck him. It is what it is. What it is. You know what I'm saying? People die every day, b.
People
Um,
die every day, B.
I don't, it does suck, but I'm in, like I really am desensitized to injuries. I'll be honest. Me personally, as a sports viewer, ever since the whole shit went down with D Rose, and we saw him, not even reach the peak of his career, but hit that moment, that top moment where he was considered a top 5 player and come down, and I seen injuries change that. Like, I don't give a fuck. Injuries just happen. It's just a part of sports. It's a part of life. It does suck, for the Jets, because a lot of them players were doing a lot of dick riding on social media for that man all
Yeah,
off season. Even when Zach Wilson was still on the team, even when Mike White was still on the team, they were on hands and knees pleading for him. And for it to go out like that it's kind of it's not funny, but it is. It ain't funny, but it is though. So I just think the Jets still have a great defense, but it is what it is. Now there will be the Chicago Bears of the AFC East have an amazing defense, keep
yeah.
teams to low scoring, and then struggle to score on offense.
Hey man, like my man Denzel Washington said to
Denzel.
Jamie Foxx, I'm leaving out of here with something. I
I'm
lost a
leaving.
parlay.
I'm leaving out
I,
here with something.
I'm leaving out here with something. I lost the parlay. All the Bengals had to do was win by 3. Lost that parlay. My Bears came out and looked like trash. But you know what? I left out of here with something, and that was Aaron Rodgers being out for the season. Look, hey, I feel for Jets. I feel for the Jets fans.
Yeah.
That's it. I feel for them because look, I said on the show, man, you got to deal with Vinny Testaverde, Brown and Nagel, Richard Todd.
And Vinny
Um,
Testaverde was there
yeah, he was there, and who
on the
who ended
23rd
up
anniversary of him being injured.
There you go. That's like when what's my man named Joe Theismann was in DC
Alex Smith. Yeah.
and he saw Alex Smith. He was like, "Oh Lord Jesus." So look, man, as a Bears fan, I'm sorry. I ain't got no remorse for dude. It is what it is at this point, and I'm sorry. It might not be Aaron Rodgers' choice that he could come back or not. You know what I'm saying? This is God right here. All right? God has the final say about this. That man is 40 years old and just tore his Achilles. Now, is it his plant foot? No, but I don't care. That is one of the hardest injuries to come back from. And he 40. All right. As a 40-year-old man that didn't play a lot of sports outside of high school, my body still hurt from a lot of the stuff that I deal with in football. My shoulders is killing me right now. I can't throw a football for more than 5 minutes. My son be trying to play football with me, and he be like, "Dad, after 5 minutes, you good?" And I'm like, "No, son, go play with somebody else." So that man is gonna try to, come back off an Achilles. Hey, I'll believe it when I see it, okay? Because that injury is tough to come back from. You know what might happen? He might get a ceremonial height and a pass get thrown, so he can be like, "Yo, I ended my career with a completion or something." But I'll believe it when I see it. But I left out of here with something. I'm happy about it. Bet down, ho. Bet
Yeah,
down, bet down, bet down, ho.
I think I'm with you. I think that's the best way to recap this. I'm leaving out here with something like it's. I just felt nothing. My mom was like, "Don't you feel something?" Like it's a man. I'm like, "There's a
Nope.
man that ruined my fucking life." No, I don't. I don't.
Did he?
I would live stream the fucking surgery if I could. And the
Hey, tell
funny
your
thing
mama,
is,
go ahead, go cook, go cook. You got the
and
lunch.
here's the thing. Shout out my man Sid. He tweeted this. The nigga put out the picture of him in the hospital bed. Oh, now you believe in doctors, nigga. Now you believe in doctors. It's very fucking funny. I don't care. I feel bad for Jets fans. I got a lot of Jets fans, homies.
Yeah.
Shout out my man Mike. Shout out my man Van. All my niggas in New York. I fuck with y'all. But hear me and hear me good. It is fucking over. Just like Mikey said, there's nothing worse than having a Super Bowl ready team. The defense is elite. Garrett Wilson, that fucking catch he made in the end zone was amazing. Brees Hall looked good. You got Dalvin Cook. You got a great roster. But if you
Cook,
don't have the quarterback, it doesn't
cook,
matter, bro.
talk
It
it.
it does not matter. It is a wrap. I don't want to hear about trading for Kirk Cousins. It's not gonna matter.
Let's go. Talk your
There,
shit,
there is
King.
no quarterback who is currently not employed by the NFL that is coming in and making a difference, especially on an already tough division to begin with. It wasn't a given that they were going to win the division. I'd have had to win the division even with Aaron Rodgers. So as a Jets fan, I know it sucks, but you just got to embrace it. It's
Hey,
over, and that's all it is.
hey, Scott. Here's the thing. Here's why I don't care about Jets players. Y'all too young for me to care. All right.
Yeah.
If this was a if this was a veteran laden team and shit, if it was a couple of vets on there that teamed up to go get this they first or they last ring, that's cool. No, y'all young, Jack. Y'all got all y'all years ahead of y'all. Y'all go draft somebody, you know what I'm saying? And with that defense, y'all will be straight. But y'all shitted on Zach Wilson last year. So that's why I don't care about what y'all think. Y'all shitted on Zach Wilson and Zach Wilson's face. Y'all was out here treating Mike White like he was the greatest white man on earth just to not make the playoffs. All right. So you know what? If I'm Zach Wilson, I really don't give a shit. All right, because y'all played me last year. All right. Now y'all won't. Now it's you all right with me? No, fam.
Yeah,
No.
you're actually right about that because people have been like, Zach.
It's like, oh man,
You're
I
absolutely
always love you.
We believe in
Um,
two. Yeah, all right.
and Mike White is sitting up there backing up Tua right now. And I know it was somebody up in the league that was like, "Hey, what do y'all think about going in and getting Mike White back?" No, man, Mike White, like, look, I'm about to win the division, and I might win the Super Bowl as a backup
Yep.
with the Miami Dolphins, fam. You go chill in Miami, fam. Let the Jets, you reap what you sow, Jets.
Rather be in
players.
Miami with a good team than being in Jersey. So, we're gonna move on to start our week 2 coverage, man. So it is the moment that we all waiting for. It is Mikey's weekly parlay. So I'm going to give the floor to my man Mikey. Last week he hooked y'all up with a parlay. What do you got for us this week, G?
Well, I mean, my bad, Bang. I don't know if you was paying attention last week, but we were on the Browns last week. You would have won some bread.
I
So, you went against the family and you got bit. So last week, just to recap, we went 2-1 on our single bets. The Browns took care of us on the money line. Aaron Jones anytime touchdown took care of us on the money line. We should have sprinkled for 2 because the way he was running all over the Bears, if he would have stood in, he probably would have got another one. He probably would have finished with 3. We took a loss on the parlay because of the Steelers. They couldn't cover the +3.5. They got shellacked. So this week we're riding with, I got 2 prop bets and then I got a parlay for y'all. So for our number 1 prop bet that we're going with, we're gonna go with DJ Moore over 43.5 receiving yards. I wholeheartedly believe that the Bears are going to force feed him this week. 2 targets, 2 receptions is not acceptable. They told you as much this whole week if you're paying attention to any of the press conferences. So I'm going to ride with DJ Moore over 43.5 receiving yards down in Tampa Bay. In 10 career games against the Bucks, he's cleared this in 9 out of 10 games. I think we're going to see probably maybe overfeeding to DJ Moore from Justin Fields. Hopefully he telegraphs it, but you got the number 1 wide receiver out for, or number 1 cornerback, Charlton Davis out for the Bucks. So I expect DJ Moore to get his over 43.5 receiving
oh,
yards.
okay.
And I also like DJ Moore over 3.5 receptions, especially for +115. He's cleared this in 9 out of 10 games against Tampa Bay. He's cleared this in 4 out of his last 5 games. Go figure. The game he doesn't get it is last week with the Bears. So I think that we see a heavy emphasis on DJ Moore, even if it's replacing some of those screenplays that we saw last week with Chase Claypool and Darnell Mooney, and they're going to him just to get the ball in his hands and let him create. So we're on those 2. And then for a single bet, I love the Chiefs money line. You got Travis Kelsey back. You got Chris Jones back. They're going down to Jacksonville. And I expect Big Red to figure it out. Let's be real. We talked about it. The Lions really didn't do anything that impressive last week to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs just shot themselves in the foot. With Travis Kelsey coming back, with Chris Jones coming back, I think the Chiefs get right. And then with our NFL parlay, we got a 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a 5-teamer. It's gonna be for +500. You throw $100 down, you win $500. We're gonna ride with the Bills on the money line. We're gonna ride with the Jets on the money line. We're gonna take the Niners, the Bengals, and the Broncos. And I got a bunch of teams in there that I do not see going 0-2. I think the Bills and the Giants and the Bengals get right. I like the matchup for the Broncos at home against Sam Howell making his first career start up there in the Mile High Stadium, and the Niners are they're gonna do something vicious to the Rams. So we're riding with the Bills, Giants, Niners, Bengals, and Broncos. As always, everything I give you, I'm betting too. So let's see if we can get some phone bill money and the rent paid early.
All right,
Need
perfect.
that.
So shout out to Mikey giving us his weekly parlay. We might have to do that early for y'all. We're probably not gonna have one next week. Mikey won't be here next week. So
Oh
y'all,
no,
y'all
y'all
niggas.
gonna have one. Just because I'm
Oh, you
not
gonna
here
have?
doesn't mean we're
Oh, you
not
gonna take
gambling.
care of it? Okay, cool. We gonna
Oh
take care
wait,
of it.
if for my people watching now, I got some baseball for you tonight. We're taking
Got
the
some
Texas.
baseball.
We're
Yes, we
taking the
need that.
Texas Rangers. We're taking the Texas Rangers money line. They're on a 6-game winning streak. Bruce Bochy has woken up and the bats are hot. They're going up against Lucas Giolito, who will be working at a PacSun near you in December. We're gonna parlay that with the Twins because anytime you can bet against the White Sox, we're making free money. And I like the Phillies to smack the shit out of the Cardinals tonight. So we're riding with those 3 teams tonight. Let's win some bread today so we can throw it on Colorado tomorrow.
Perfect. I will be clipping this up soon as this is up so I can post this on all the socials. So y'all got y'all baseball shit for tonight, man. So shout out to Mikey. He will still have a parlay for y'all next week, even though he will not be on the show. That's what we're gonna do with that. We're gonna let Bang go make a move real quick as we about to start our NFL coverage for week 2, man. I'm really looking forward to this week because I don't have to actually waste my time in motherfucking Florida. I was telling Courtney before we got on, my plan originally was to spend a night, spend 24 hours in Miami, and come to Tampa for the game. Then my bank account said, fuck out of here, nigga. So that did not happen. So I will be here in Chicago watching it. But let's just get into it as we know we wait for Bang. The show waits for nobody. So we're gonna go right into it. Of course, for the Bears coverage, we'll be doing that in the local hour as soon as we wrap this up. Me, Bang, and Mike will give you full in-depth analysis on this game. So let's start off with Bills Raiders, man. This game is in Buffalo, the home opener for the Buffalo Bills against the Raiders. Courtney, I'm gonna let you go with this one first. What you got on here?
Yeah, I don't think the Bills are going to let themselves get into that kind of hole. I think the Bills win pretty handedly. Hopefully, Josh Allen stops trying to play hero ball and remembers that he does have targets usually within 10 yards of him. So, yeah, I got the Bills.
Yeah, I agree. We're already on the Bills in the parlay. I think this is a perfect get right spot game for the Bills. I think we're going to see a lot of Stephon Diggs, and I would not be surprised if they start working in that rookie tight end Dalton Kincaid for the Bills. So I think the Bills go ahead and take care of the Raiders this week, and they get back to 1-1.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. I'm going with the Bills in this one too. They had no business losing last week, especially with after Aaron Rodgers went down. It was a total letdown. Josh Allen needs to get right. And I think this would be an easy win for them. I don't know what to think about the Raiders, man. Even with that win against against Denver, I still don't know what to think about them. Next game, man, we got a couple good ones, man. Bengals, Ravens. The Bengals are trying to get off the schneid after getting their asses beat in Cleveland by Freaky Sean and them boys over there. They will be going to Baltimore. I wasn't too impressed by Baltimore, but they still got the win last week. I think for this one, I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I think they will find a way to bounce back. I think last week Mikey brought up the stat about how bad they are against Cleveland during Joe Burrow's time as a Bengals. So that stood out. Also, Joe Burrow did not have any training camp because of his injury. So that's something that kind of played into it as well. I think they'll bounce back. They are way too good of a team to be, starting the season off 0-2. You start the season off 0-2, you're really putting yourself behind, a big wall because you never know what's going to happen. Now you got to play not borderline perfect, but you got to play really, really solid ball for the rest of the season. That's something that I think that they're well enough coached. They have a good, veteran team. I think they'll bounce back from that one. Bang, what you got for Bengals Ravens?
Man, I got the Ravens. Some just feels iffy about the Bengals at this point right now. Um, Even talking about the last game, I picked the points. I picked three. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, the Bengals and the Browns, even though the Browns be getting them, they play close. This didn't look like the Bengals we used to. So when I look at the Ravens coming in to this game with new weapons, I wonder can the Bengals keep up with them? If they can't keep up with the Browns with Freaky Sean and what they have, you can question this with the Ravens. So no, I'm taking Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with the Bengals. I think the biggest thing that a lot of the casual or just regular NFL fans do is they overreact from from week to week. What they saw in week 1 and thinking that's what you're gonna see in week 2. Like I said, historically, Joe Burrow is food for the Cleveland Browns, and now when you add in a off season of coming back from the calf injury, you add in no preseason, you add in inclement weather. It was fail from the start for the Bengals, but going up against the Ravens team with no Marlon Humphrey, they got a lot of injuries on their offensive line. The Ravens do. No J.K. Dobbins. I think this is a perfect get right spot for Joe Burrow in the aerial attack. I mean, shit. Last year, didn't he have a couple games where he threw for about 400 or 500 yards on them?
He did.
So
He did.
yeah. So I just think style wise and the way they match up those wide receivers, Joe Burrow will go ahead and I think T Higgins might have a big game. So I'm riding with the Bengals. I love them. I love them getting right at home.
Courtney, what you got?
Yeah, I'm on the same page. I think the Bengals are going to win this
The what?
game. I think it's going to be a shootout, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a high scoring affair, but I do think the Bengals are going to win. I think hopefully for my fantasy team's sake, T Higgins.
For fantasy team. Oh man, I'm glad I gave up fantasy.
Right this week. Yeah, I got Cincinnati.
Okay, cool. We all got 6 except for Bang. This game right here, this is a big game, massive game already. Jaguars Chiefs in Duval. This is massive. The Jaguars won last week in Indianapolis. Wasn't the best game from Trevor Lawrence, but they got the job done. Now the Chiefs, man, the Chiefs are in a predicament too. Chiefs are we're having a lot of big season games in week 2, because like I just said, you don't want to start off on 2. They did sign Chris Jones. Chris Jones signed a 1-year deal. I haven't checked. I don't know if he's playing this week or not. So that's still TBD. Travis Kelce's making progress, but they say he's got a deep, his knee sprain or something very deep. And that dude is 34 years old. So I'd be shocked if he plays Sunday.
He practiced. He
Oh no,
practiced.
they're playing. No, yeah, it's Kelsey and Chris Jones are active. They playing.
There we go.
He trolled his knee injury. He trolled his knee injury in practice today. So now he playing.
Okay, well then Chris Jones and Travis Kelce will be playing in Jacksonville. That's gonna be even bigger game, man. That's all I need to hear. I'm going with the Chiefs. I roll 15, man. I do the way I judge Tom Brady the last 20 years of my life is what I'm gonna be doing with Patrick Mahomes. I will not be questioning this mulatto nigga at all. This nigga is amazing. Okay, all he needed, as bad as they played last week against Detroit, they still had a chance. So Kadarius Toney just picked up the ball. And by the way, Kadarius Toney, you can't delete your Twitter and all your social media, and then you want to pop shit on the Giants. That's not how this works, bro. If you gonna talk shit, you gotta be able to stand up like a man when the shit comes back to you. You can't do that. But anyway, I digress. I got the Chiefs this week.
Duval. And I'm saying, hey man, I got it.
0-2 joints early.
Hey man, look, I got to ride with my MVP pick and my Super Bowl pick. So in this one, so I got to ride with him, man. So I'm going with Duval.
Is there any particular reason why you just don't think the Chiefs are gonna come up with it, or you just think that?
No, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars could get them in the early game. If this was week 7 or 8 or whatever, then it'd be a different conversation, possibly. But I think in the early game, even though the Chiefs come in well rested, Kelsey will be back, Chris Jones is there too. If it was any chance for the Jacksonville Jaguars to get them, it's this game. And Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley, oh my God, that man. It makes me feel like my MVP pick is on point the way that those two are working with each other. So they could get them right now.
And just to confirm, your MVP pick is
Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm.
Yes,
yeah.
All on the other Duval train. Mikey, who you got?
I'm riding with the Chiefs. They already in the parlay. We locked in. We're taking them a single bet too. I'm riding on Mahomes and Kelsey on that matchup. You talking about we might get 10, 11 receptions out of Kelsey that game. They're gonna force feed him. And I'm riding with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I am gonna ride with the Chiefs. However, I do think this is gonna be a high scoring affair as well. I do think Calvin Ridley is 1000% the X factor here. I'd love to see how the Chiefs plan around him in particular, but yeah, I got to go with the Chiefs in this one.
This next game is definitely let me refill the Nacho Bowl game. Chargers Titans, disgusting football here. I'm going with the Chargers. Chargers just got
the Nacho.
Yeah, the Chargers. Yeah, that looks amazing right there. The
The
Chargers,
Nacho Bowl game.
the Nacho Bowl game. That looks amazing. The Chargers just, you know, got beat by a member of the Bloodline last week at SoFi Stadium. I think they bounced back this week. I'm going with the Chargers.
Yeah, I like the Chargers in the road win to get the road win this week for sure. Ryan Tannehill doesn't inspire any kind of confidence in me whatsoever. No
Hell
offense,
no.
Trey Hopkins. I think it might be time to maybe go be a family man
Oh, for sure.
for sure.
I
Mm.
think I think he a little banged up too, but yeah, I'm riding with the Chargers. I think the Titans aren't good. Quite simple.
Yes.
I think the motherfuckers are ass. So I'm gonna ride with the Chargers. I'm gonna ride with the Chargers and what is it, -3? Yeah. Stay tuned. Maybe on Twitter I might take that spread. We'll see.
San Diego Superchargers. Yeah,
Chargers.
they win that game. Hey man, the Titans is trash. They're trash.
Is Austin Eckler,
It needs to be said.
do we know
Did
if
you say
Austin
what?
Eckler is playing this weekend?
That's a good question. Is
I know
Austin Eckler playing?
he wasn't a participant in practice past couple days. And I don't know if he practiced today.
Let me.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't I don't know if it's because I think it's a little early for them to put out their final injury report right now on the West Coast, but I think he will end up playing.
yeah, he probably will play. I don't know. That's a good question. It's the season started when we asking about Austin Eckler playing or not. But um, let's go to when we got a pack of NFC North games, man. We gonna go to Atlanta, my favorite stadium in football that I've been to, outside of SoFi. It's my number 2 favorite stadium, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. The 1-0 Falcons will be hosting the 1-0 Green Bay Packers. Man, I really hate to say this. Nah, this is not how I want this season to start.
Mm.
I think the Packers winning this one, man. I think the Packers gonna go 2-0. I'm not a Desmond Ritter guy whatsoever. I do think that they have a good defense. The Atlanta has a really good defense. Atlanta kind of had the same problem that the Jets got, but not to the extent because their defense obviously isn't as great as the Jets. But they've got everything that you could possibly need but a quarterback. And I think that this will be a close game. I think that I think the Falcons could win the game, but I think at the end of the game, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, I believe in Jordan Love to make the passes that they need to make at the end of the game, or not believe Desmond Ritter. So I'm going with Green Bay.
Yeah, free Kyle Pitts. I'm also going with Green Bay. Jordan Love might be the truth? Question mark. Yeah, Desmond Ritter also doesn't inspire any kind of leadership in me or leadership qualities for me. So yeah, I gotta go with the Packers. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm riding with the Packers. I mean, I think we're gonna see a similar defensive game plan to what the Packers did to the Bears last week. They're gonna make the quarterback throw. And I zero confidence in him. So I'm riding with the Packers. It's interesting that Vegas has them as an underdog right now. I think they may be anticipating that Aaron Jones might be out with that hamstring injury. Even then, we'll get a heavy dose of AJ Dillon.
AJ Dillon, 2 touchdowns. Green Bay Packers. Go Pack go. Unfortunately.
Go, that's nasty. You didn't have to say all
Yeah,
that.
you ain't gotta say all that.
You did a little bit too much.
Right?
You did a lot right there. Let's go
Yeah.
to let's go to the next one, man. It will be at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. The Detroit Lions will be hosting the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks just got lambasted last week at the crib by the Rams, which is a shocking win for them. I didn't think the Rams were going to do that, especially with no Cooper Kupp. This is going to be a very high-scoring game. But like I said, man, that Ford Field crowd is incredible. They have that fan base is feeling it. I haven't had this much contact with my Detroit relatives and my Detroit homies ever. Shout out my man Chuck English with the Cool Kids. We've been going back and forth about it on Twitter about this, but this is why the Bears need to win on Sunday, because we're gonna have 2-0 teams in the NFC North. I'm going with the Detroit Lions in a very, very close shootout game, but I think they will just make a couple more plays on defense than the Seahawks will. I'm going with Detroit in this one.
Yeah, I'm riding with Seattle. I'm riding with Seattle. I know they have some issues with offensive line. I think they're going to be down. They might be down 2 starting offensive tackles, which doesn't bode well going up into that stadium. Like you said, Scott, they're very loud in that stadium. And you know, you got Aiden Hutchinson coming at Geno Smith all day. We might get another clip of him screaming, "Oh God, oh God!" Uh, so I like Seattle in a close one. I think by a field goal. This has all the makings of a Jared Goff 2-pick interception game.
I hope you're right. I want to be so wrong on this.
Yeah, I hope you're right too, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I don't either.
Um, I think the Detroit Lions is going to win, and really, my biggest concern about this whole thing is if they really wear these blue ski masks. Um, there's a lot for me to say about them wearing blue ski masks and how that should not happen. I think that's going a little bit too far. You know, you never know who might try to take some shit from you, Detroit. I don't know if that's the thing to do, but if blue ski masks get y'all riled up, you know, you can't lose to the Seattle Seahawks wearing blue ski masks.
Yeah.
But if I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan, don't worry.
All right.
Yeah, I'm riding with the Lions in this one. I don't think they're going to lose this game at home. But yeah, the blue ski masks bit had me thrown. But that's the most like CJ Gardner Johnson, Eli Apple behavior I've ever heard.
Yes. And this is also from so the blue ski mask. Detroit has it, or that's Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah,
CJ
Detroit.
Gardner Johnson
Yeah.
told Detroit fans like they literally sold out of blue ski masks on Amazon.
Okay, now I don't know how many of y'all have any of y'all been to Ford Field.
No.
Not yet. No.
Okay, now the downtown Detroit looks like the hood, and when you exit out a certain door of Ford Field, you're literally walking down the same fucking alley that New Edition walked through in the "Can You Stand the Rain" video. Okay, so you will get fucked up. So do not wear that mask if it's
That's all right.
if it's a night game. Detroit, I love Detroit. Detroit is one of my favorite cities, but keep it cute, Detroit. That is some CJ Gardner Johnson shit though. 100%. But let's go on to the next game. This is a nasty one. Texans Colts, rookie versus rookie. Anthony Richardson versus CJ Stroud. I'm gonna go with the Colts. It's in Houston, but like I said, I think the Texans are gonna be one of the worst teams in the league. I think Anthony Richardson to me was probably the most impressive rookie last week from just a total body of work. And I trust the rest of their team will not do Texans. So I'm gonna go with Indy for this one.
I think the Texans' defense is solid, and I think they'll put up a nice performance. But I do think the Colts are going to win this game, and I look for a big game once again from Anthony Richardson and Michael Pittman.
Yeah, I like the Colts. I just think their ability to run the ball with with Anthony Richardson as well. He's a little bit more versatile than CJ Stroud. So I'm gonna ride with the Colts.
I'm riding with a tie.
Oh, okay.
I'm dead serious. I'm not even joking. I'm riding with a tie. This game has all the feelings that this is going to be like 13-13 once this game is over with. And it's going to be like, all right, well, it's a tie. See y'all later on CBS. It's a tie. I'm picking a tie.
Y'all later on CBS. This next one is nasty. It's Cardinals Giants. We already know the Cardinals are not trying to win football games. The Giants will bounce back in this one, and they will win. And they will try to forget about that 40-point ass kicking they took last week.
Ugh. You know what? Let me think on that one.
I think the Giants are going to win. I think they're going to redeem themselves. I think it's really hard, especially in the division that they're in, to get into an 0-2 hole. I don't think they're gonna lose this weekend. I got the Giants.
Yeah, I'm liking the Giants. I'm liking Kayvon Thibodeau, maybe 2-sack game. I just think that it's not going to be pretty. Then the Giants don't have an amazing offense, but I think they'll get it done on the defensive end, and then they'll just pound the rock with Saquon, and I think the Giants go ahead and get right.
I want to say the Giants. I really do.
And Bang is going against the grain today.
Yeah.
I want to say the Giants. I really do. But this smells to me like an upset. The game that the Cardinals is not supposed to win. Like they wasn't even supposed to be in that Washington game. and you see what happened there. So, unfortunately, for draft reasons, they should not win this. But I'm going to pick the Cardinals.
You're gonna pick the Cardinals. I hope you're right too, because I don't want to have to need that pick later. But I'm not trying to get too negative. We'll save that for the local hour in about 10 minutes. Rams Niners, man. The Rams looked pretty good last week, but this Niner team, man, if Purdy continues to shut me the hell up, they're gonna look very, very good. I think the Niner, bang bang Niner gang, they're gonna win this one, take one on the road in SoFi.
Man, I have the Niners in another blowout.
Yeah, handedly. Same.
I agree. I agree.
Everybody agrees on that one. This next game, I got 4 words for you. Pray for Zach Wilson. Between the Cowboys and the Jets. What Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, and that defense is going to do to that man is going to break his confidence. It is going to be biblical. I've got a blowout win. They might put up 40 again. Like they might do that. That's how I feel it's gonna be. But I can also see the Jets defense putting my man Dak, not my man Dak, through a fucking table too. So I can also see that too. Shout out to Mikey. We're gonna talk about that in the local rock. My brother sent me the same thing about 30 minutes ago. We're gonna talk about that in local rock. I got a theory on that. But what y'all got about Cowboys and Jets?
I played the
It's
Jets.
about to be an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
about to get ugly. It's
Oh
this
my
gonna get
God.
ugly. This gonna get ugly.
Has there ever been an NFL team to have two shutouts in a row with two teams from the same city by 40 points or more?
That's a good
If
question.
not, if not,
This will be
we
NFL.
might see NFL history on Sunday. I'm banking on NFL history on Sunday, y'all. It's gonna be an ass whooping, Jack.
I just hope both teams have
You know,
Both teams played hard.
Yeah, this
both
that
scored.
this is the inside. I'm not gonna hold you group chat joke that only
right.
we run this thing. By the way, the group chat got dark. By the way, we can only thank one man for that. But we gonna go on to the next one. Broncos Commanders. This is another nasty one. The Broncos have to win this one, right? Like you can't let
Yeah.
They have to.
what's this quarterback name? Sam Howell. Like you can't let him come into the Mile High and beat you, man. Like I'm going with the Broncos because they have to win this game.
Oh, the Broncos at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Broncos.
Yeah. I like Denver. I like Denver to get right. They won't start off Sean Payton's new regime at 0-2.
I believe in Russell Wilson. Nobody else might not, but I
Yeah.
believe in Russell Wilson.
Just
You
you
and
and
Sierra.
Sierra. You and
Yeah.
Sierra.
That's all he
Exactly.
needs. That's all he
Shit.
needs. Two strong.
Subway don't even believe in that motherfucker.
Shout out to the Danger Witch was sold for 5 weeks before they took it off. Um, Patriots, Dolphins. Hey man, Patriots put up a good fight with the GOAT in the building last week. They'll be at home again. But I like this Dolphins team, man. If Tua can keep his head, actually in his body, I think they'll be good this year. So I'm going with the Dolphins on this one, man. Shout out to Tyreek Evans pulling up to them kids out there in Miami, man. That shit was a dope clip to see. But I'm going Dolphins. Who y'all got?
Dolphins about done.
Yeah, I got the Dolphins. You know, that's my AFC team. So I'm riding with the Dolphins.
I
It
got
won't
the
be easy though.
Dolphins.
I don't think it'll be
It's
easy
gonna
though.
be as much of a blowout as people think. That Patriots pass rush is nice, but I think it's
hmm
going to be a Miami Dolphins W by at least a
Must,
touchdown.
must be nice to have pass rush. But anyway, we have a double header Monday Night Football game on ESPN and ABC. And the first one will be actually on ESPN. It will be in Carolina. Bryce Young making his Monday Night Football debut, hosting Courtney's New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr and them. The Saints won last week in non-impressive fashion, but I think they will do the same thing again this week. I just don't trust this Panther team. I think it's going to be a long season for them, and I hope it's a long season for them, so it can benefit me. So I'm going with the Saints in this one.
We take those. It's a W for the Saints. I do love Bryce. I feel like the Wesley Snipes meme in New Jack City when he's like staring and crying because he's about to. That's exactly how I feel because I love Bryce Young and I want him to succeed, but not against my team. I got the Saints this weekend. or this
Yeah.
Monday, I should say.
For the sake of this Bears Carolina pick, I got the Saints. I need Panthers to rack up as many L's as they can. Let's go Saints.
Who that?
Saints 24, Panthers 13.
He gave us a score too. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Final game of the week. It will be Monday Night Football on ABC in Pittsburgh. Steelers fresh off an ass whooping from the San Francisco 49ers. We're taking on Freaky Sean and them boys over there in Cleveland. I am shockingly going to pick the Steelers just because I just don't think Mike Tomlin team is going to start off on 2. I just don't see that happening. I think they'll find a way to get right. I do think this will be a very competitive game. I think that Freaky Sean will get better each week. I think that's really just about repetition for him. I don't think he lost any of his game. It's about being in game shape. And so I think that he'll be better. I think my man Myles Garrett is a grown ass man. He's gonna make life hell for the Steelers. But I'm putting my faith in Mike Tomlin more than anything for them to find a way for them not to go on 2. So I'm going with the Steelers.
I'm going with the Steelers off GP. I will never ever actively put my support behind that nasty man. Free Miles Garrett because I love him. I gotta go Pittsburgh.
I'm riding with Cleveland. I'm riding with Deshaun Watson. No homo. Pause. All of that. I really like this team. I really like this team, and I really the loss of Cam Hayward for the Steelers pass rush is going to be pretty big. I know we still got the other Watt brother out there. They still have a great defense, but I think they'll figure it out.
Hey man, this is gonna be George Pickens coming out party. So I got the Steelers. And we're gonna be talking about George Pickens
They
on
gotta
Tuesday.
they gotta stop with this George Pickens shit. He has as many touchdowns as Valus
It's
Jones. All
Felix
right,
Jones.
Oh,
just because he looks good in fucking practice and all that
oh,
shit, that's cool. I'm good on this.
I ain't saying my man about to catch 11 balls. I'm
I hope.
saying we gonna.
Hey, yo,
That was
hey,
Yeah,
crazy.
oh, Paul, hey,
That
oh,
was
hey,
crazy.
oh,
that was
hey, that's
crazy. That
crazy.
was crazy.
I'm not saying he about to catch 11 passes for 258 yards, but he gonna have a game where you gonna be like, oh, okay, and it always happens on Monday Night Football, especially with the Steelers. So I got the Steelers in this game. Freaky Shine comes down a little bit. Pause on that too.
And that concludes our week 2 preview, man. We're gonna start the local out in a minute, but Courtney, you're gonna get up out of here to begin your weekend. Is there anything you want to say before you get up out of here?
No, not really. Follow your girl on Twitter and Instagram at 1-800-CALL-UP-BRO. Other than that, we got a last homestand for the Rangers coming up here pretty soon. They're a half game behind the Houston Astros in the division, so it's getting real sweaty in the American League West. If you like baseball, it's a good time to tune in. Even if you don't, now's a good time to tune in. Get invested, get involved with the team, even if you don't know one. Just find one, pick one, anyone, maybe your favorite colors, whatever, and start watching some baseball because I'm about to be back down bad this weekend after I gave myself a much needed break.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to covering the playoffs when they start in a couple weeks. So, Courtney, we will holler at you next week. We'll be back in like 15 seconds for the local hour. So stay with us.
Cheers.
All right. We are back. Had to give y'all a little quick transition, just for my personal game. So I know where to edit this shit. But anyway, we are here back for the local hour. See what happens when Dante is a producer? You get shit like this. But anyway, we are back for the local hour, man. This is where we will complain about our Chicago Bears for the next probably 30 minutes, man. So as we were recording the main hour, I got 2 texts. I got one from my brother. He tweeted out on the 79th and Hallis page that breaking news for this coming week. against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that Bears defensive coordinator Alan Williams will be away from the team for personal reasons. Head coach Matt Eberflus will be calling the defense on Sunday. He also is not at Hallis Hall this weekend for the same reason. I don't know what those personal issues are. So whatever it is, much prayers or whatever out to Alan Williams, wherever he's dealing with. Having said all of that, I don't think this is 100% a just a personal reason thing. I thought Flu saw enough. Flu's like, nigga, the heat is already on me. And I'm really not fucking with this no more. You know what I'm saying? I have heard from I will not name my source, but I have a source that was in the building on Sunday that says Kevin Warren was not happy, to say the least.
Hey, yes, yes,
He
man.
was
I
not
told,
happy.
ooh, yes.
He was not happy. They said ownership was not happy. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was happy about this. There was a lot of shit going on this week. And so I was at Hallis for a day, and I will say this. This is my third season, my second full season covering the Bears. This was the first time that I just didn't 100% like the vibe. Now I know sometimes you'll see from Bears media every time they tell me they don't like the vibe, and a lot of times I feel like it's overreaction. I didn't like the vibe. Now I wasn't there on Monday. Eddie Jackson said that this is the first time he had been in the locker room and everybody was quiet. He said whether win or loss is usually not like that. Now in his head, he said from what he took it as, the guys are really upset and they're ready to write this thing into the right direction. That's what he got from it. What I got from it is that these niggas is pussy and they might be shook. That's what I got from it. Now,
Yo,
go ahead.
oh my God.
I just want to say this before I let y'all go.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
On Wednesday, now I want to preface this with we're not able to actually watch the full practice in the regular
Mhm.
season like we are with training camp. Training camp, we're able to sit there for the whole hour and a half, 2 hour practice. Regular season, we're only able to be there for the first 15 minutes. So I can't tell you how practice was, but from the vibe that I got, I love Justin. I need some juice, bro. I need some juice. I need more from you. I feel like when he came up to the podium, to us, see, first of all, him and Flus talked to us like we're the police. And I felt like I wanted more care. I wanted not to say that he doesn't care.
Uh,
I wanted more care from what I see from him. I actually was impressed with Flus's press conference. Like Flus, I could tell was a little bit upset. I didn't get that from Justin. Justin didn't look like he was in a bad mood because when we were in the locker room, he was cracking jokes, being his usual self. So that's not what I got from it. I thought the team was loose, but it didn't feel like a team that was locked in and was like, yo, this season can get off the rails very quickly if we don't win this game. There was an incident with Chase Claypool. Fuck it, I'm not on WGN or something. I can say this shit. We tried to interview him, and he was like, "Get the fuck up out of here." He was like, "Yo, I'm finna go lift." And I'm like, you might be lifting the shit out your goddamn locker soon because you might be the fuck up out of here. I feel like now we have been confirmed that he will be playing. He will be starting on Sunday. But the fact that somebody asked him, I think it was my man Jason Leisure asked Flus, was he going to start? And he didn't 100% give a yes. To me, that shows me that Flus at least know what the improvements are. Now, all week, we've seen collective panic from Bears fans. And y'all know me. I'm the first one to say Bears fans be tripping. But I think this was actually warranted. And I feel like I don't trust the staff. I'm not 100% out on Flus yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm really going to be interested to see how the defensive game plan is on Sunday. If it looks night and day, that's going to tell me a lot about what I need to know. But I just didn't personally feel that juice this weekend. And that's why I was worried about on top of the film. Oh, my God. The film from that game, I'm at the point right now where I'm literally nervous about, is it Justin's mechanical brain where he's too scared to get the ball off? That's my number one concern. Now I'm gonna give it to Bang right now because he been wanting to go off.
No, I'm not going to go off, Scott. I went off on Monday. And everything that I said on Monday is basically what you just said. Let's start with Kevin Warren, ladies and gentlemen. I told y'all on Monday, if I'm Kevin Warren, I am upset. He know what this rivalry is because he know what the rivalry is with Green Bay and Minnesota. He know the rivalry with the Bears in Minnesota because he's been in the NFC North. He was the president of that team. So him, and I'll say this too, as a black man, As a black man, he he could have went in any bar, anywhere, and on the South Side, South Loop, West Loop, anywhere with niggas, and they wouldn't have known who he is because we barely seen him on TV because he trying to get this stadium.
Yeah.
He could have went to any of them bars, them not knowing who they are, and he would have heard them talking hella shit
Hmm.
about the Chicago Bears. And the fact that they came out so flat, like I said on Monday, if the Bears would have came out in there in that game and said and gave what we felt is complete 100% great effort, then we wouldn't be this mad. But it is, and I'm gonna calm myself down because I'm still upset, and all this does is trigger it. So I'm gonna try not to be loud on this one. But all it does is reinforce what I said on Monday. Them boys came out flat, not ready, and the president and the CEO of the team knows it, and now he's taking notice. But the problem for Flus, the problem for Pose, the problem for Justin, and everybody else on that team is that Kevin Warren didn't hire you. We talk all
Hmm.
this shit about Pose and how he didn't draft Justin Fields. No, 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 my G. Kevin didn't hire none of y'all niggas.
Hmm.
So when Kevin see all of y'all come out like that on the first game of the season for a rivalry game, he lighting fires. Hey man, Kevin Warren probably brought Flus in that office and was like, Joe Clark on lean on me. Or matter of fact, fuck that. He brought Ryan Poles up in there. He brought him up in there and was like, hey, contrary from what you thought, I'm the head nigga in charge. That's what he probably told Ryan Poles ass. That's why Ryan Poles ass around here looking like he's sick too. That Allen Williams shit, I hope it's not anything personal, like
Yeah.
deeply personal. There's some issues and stuff like that. I hope that's not the case. Praying for the brother. But brother, your defense has been huffed for about a year in what, 19 games right now. They've been huffed. So Flus is right now probably protecting his ass. Like, yo, you know what? I got it. It's trouble, fam. All this does is spell trouble because fuck what Eddie Roberts, fuck what Eddie Jackson said, right?
Eddie Robinson. That's
Jaquan,
a
yeah, right.
he robbed.
Uh, Jaquan Brisker said the same shit. Jaquan Brisker came, I think it was on 670 to score, talked about how one, he was upset that the fans booed. You know, they wasn't patient, that the fans booed and
Y'all
shit.
motherfuckers
And
ain't won in fucking 11 games. Fuck you talking about
Nigga.
patience.
fuck, yeah,
Nigga.
he talking about patience
The
because you
Eagles
scored
got
on the
booed
next
last
drive.
night, and these niggas are good.
They
Right.
went to the
So
Super
they
Bowl.
right. So you got that. And then he talked about they had a players only meeting. Fam, that players only meeting should have happened when the season right before the season started. Where y'all can know and understand, look, this is a chance for us to take this shit. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers game ain't gonna do shit to quell any of that unless we really dominate the shit out of that team. And I'm sorry, we're not doing that in Tampa Bay. So all I'm gonna say is to Kevin Warren, I'm talking directly to you, my brother. You gotta understand that according to Black Bears fans, we might be wrong, but according to Black Bears fans, we shocked that you even got this job. Why?
Nigga.
Because you a black man, you a brother. So we want to see you succeed in this shit. We really want you to succeed. But my question to you is looking at polls, looking at Flus, and shit, looking at Justin too. I pray and hope that you make an assessment on your team to say, hey, do I got the right people? Because
Mhm.
it might be a case that you don't. And do you give Ryan Poles a second chance to hire a coach similar to what Ryan Pace got? And we saw how that worked out. All right. Kevin Warren got a lot of questions to answer through this season. So I hope all three of the people that I named have a fire lit up under their ass And they understand that right now, based off the fact that the Bears is going to have two first round picks, and we got a lot of cap space still. We can have a little bit more if we need to, my G. Don't be surprised. Is if this season goes left, they ass go out the door.
Hmm. No, I agree.
Before you go, Mike, I just want to answer this one quick question in the chat. Gustavo asked, the Packers don't get the first round pick from the Jets. No, they do not. That's
Nope.
another good thing that came out of that nigga injury. Enjoy that second
We
round
leaving
pick.
that here with something.
We leaving out here with
We
something.
leaving
Mike, you
out of
go
here
ahead.
with some. No, I agree, and I had tweeted it the other day. I said I wonder if Kevin Warren was already in place before the Flus hiring, would Flus have gotten that, that stamp of approval? Scott told me to go to sleep, but I mean, here we are talking about it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the only motherfucker that feels that way. Like, let's be real. At the end of the day, Ryan Post, when he made that hire, he had to just go to the same old people, ask George for his blessing. That's it. If Kevin Warren would have been there with a different set of eyes, a different mentality, a different philosophy, and what he's looking for in the building, that shit could have ended up differently. And like y'all said, I hope everything's cool with Allen Williams. But let's call it what it is. This is Eberflus's defense. He is a defensive-minded head coach. This is Eberflus's scheme. Allen Williams is the DC in name, but this is his defense. So when you hire a defensive head coach who has, what it's been a season in a week, who ranks at the bottom they had the lowest amount of pressures, I think, since like 2000 something the other day. The shit don't work. I mean, we talk about the cover two. The cover two could work if you have actual fucking talent on the field. You got to have people that are running to the fucking ball, running to the ball, running to the ball. We saw that in the Lovey era when the cover two was at its finest. Briggs, Hillemeyer, Urlacher, they were running to the fucking ball. They were making plays. So it could be a scheme thing. It could also be that Ryan Post didn't do enough to add to the defense. We can go into the whole drafting Jalen Carter over Darnell Wright. You can go over which way, but three tech. If your defense is based on the three tech, defensive tackle, you should probably take the generational one and figure it the fuck out. Because they don't just fall on trees. Those guys get drafted. Those guys make Pro Bowls. They get the $100 million contract, and they stay on their team for 8 to 9 years. So where are you getting that? If you were riding with Eberflus and you're believing in his scheme and his hits principle and all of that, then why didn't you give him the number one piece for the defense and build from the line out? So it's just there's just a lot of shit that is starting to make me, I don't think Ryan Poles' job is in jeopardy at all because he has positioned the Bears still, regardless, to have 2 first-round picks. There's capital, there's draft capital, there's salary cap space. He's done well, but this hasn't, if we're looking at it now, this hasn't been his finest work really in year 2. You drafted or you gave Cole Kmet that extension. Cole Kmet was a fucking dud on Sunday. In the pass blocking and the run blocking and the in receiving, he had I think 1 or 2 receptions, but that was like in the fourth quarter. Velus Jones, your 3rd round pick from last year, is inactive. Who else? Who else can we talk about? Like there is.
Jalen Carter looked great last night.
Fuck, man, my mind is drawing a blank right now, but I'm just thinking there's Nate Davis. That was you had.
Your mind is drawing a blank because you can't name a success story. The one thing that's why your mind drawing a blank, Jack. Look, at least with Ryan Pace, them niggas in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round be making noise. Yep. We ain't had a draft pick make noise last season.
Is still on the team.
He's still on the team.
He's the only one.
Continue cooking, Mike. Continue cooking, because I got something else for you.
No, but it's the truth. And then if you want to talk about character issues, and you don't think you have what it takes, you couldn't absorb a personality like Jalen Carter, but then you go ahead and you give up an early 2nd round pick, the 32nd pick, to the Steelers for Chase Claypool, but you obviously can't control his ass. Nate Davis does not want to fucking play. He didn't show up then. Mandatory minicamp didn't show up. You know, he had 3 padded practices, didn't show up, and you know it was like what I was saying, Scott. You were like, as long as Nate Davis shows up to play,
I
that
just think
motherfucker is not no generational right guard. You know what I'm saying?
I
That's
just
not
think
Marshall Yanda out there. It's fucking Nate Davis. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking Nate Davis. It's probably 90% of the Bears fans' first time this year when you see the ESPN ticker, Bears signed right guard Nate Davis to, $35 million
niggas
deal.
is like that Snoop. Who?
Who? You know what I'm saying? So it's just I'm questioning a lot of it, and I'm sure we'll get into the Justin shit. I'm starting to wonder if last year's purposeful, rebuild and tank and taking away everything is starting to weigh a toll on Justin mentally, because in the pocket he's just not seeing it. He's not
Mm-mm.
trusting it. And the thing is, we've all seen him do this, right? We've all seen him do it. If you're trying to build a modern day quarterback, you want somebody with his size, you want somebody with his speed, you want somebody with his arm talent, you want somebody with his work ethic. Everybody fucks with him. He's the first guy in, last guy out, everything. You get out onto the field and there's plays to be made. I know the play calling was shit, but when you rewatch the tape, there were plays drawn up for DJ Moore. DJ Moore was open. Justin had enough time. Listen, I don't want to hear shit about the O-line being bad. Kirk Cousins was being thrown on his ass last night and and still was able to make fucking throws and stand in the pocket. It is what it is. Tough break. That's your job. You're going to get hit. It's not flag football. You're going to get hit. You still need to be able to make the throws. And, like when you got DJ Moore open, when you got Cole Kmet open, that first half could have been different if he would have just taken a little bit more shots, and it's probably not a vision standpoint because he sees it. It's a trust standpoint because he doesn't have the confidence to let it rip. And if you don't got the confidence to let it rip, then I promise you there will be another motherfucker that is coming up, whether it's in the draft or via a trade or something, that has the confidence and they will move on from you because you aren't their guy.
Look, I'm gonna disagree with you about the Ryan Post thing because of everything that you just said. You basically tanked in a way last year, but you did give us all of this capital, made a trade to give us a number one pick, another number one pick that might end up being at least top 10. But in the meantime, you have not put together a team that we probably feel that could be competitive at the very least. So either we're taking part two. Now maybe this is pretend soft tank job part two, or they really felt like they was gonna be a step ahead. We'll see in this next 4 games how that looks. But here's the thing: if I have if I'm Kevin Warren and I got all this money and I got all these picks, I really gotta trust the person who is in charge of making all of this work in order for me to either keep him there or let him go. Because you can't miss out next season.
Uh,
2024, you can't miss out.
but you got
But
to show something. You got to show
yeah.
something. There
that's
has to be a
something.
measurable something growth that shows that your shit is working outside of just collecting fucking draft picks and money like they're Pokemon cards. All that shit don't mean nothing
It
unless
don't mean
you
nothing.
can start getting W's and you start seeing growth and you start, you know what I'm saying? Like all that other shit,
Hmm.
it really means nothing. Like good job. You did something, you did the opposite of Ryan Pace. Ryan Pace gave up draft picks, you accumulated them. At the end of the day, Ryan Pace made draft picks. Some of them were all of them were ass in the first rounds. They were good in the mid rounds. Your shit's looking kind of ass all around.
Fa-
I'm good with
Fam,
Darnell Wright, but
we've seen enough on that damn reality show. I think it's on TLC where niggas win the lottery and they end up broke. That could very well be the Chicago Bears. We won the lottery. We got two number one picks. Along with those two number one picks, We got cap room. We ain't even break the bank to spend it on nobody. And we could get rid of some of these other niggas, the Nate Davises and all of that, and it really wouldn't kill us. So next year in 2024, we got enough to where if we break all of this shit down, we could start over with the draft capital and the money we got. The question is going to be if Kevin Warren trusts Ryan Poles to do the job. And I'm telling you, I don't if the season looks anywhere like it looked in that Green Bay game, everybody losing their job but Kevin. And he gonna
Yeah,
be like, I'm bringing in my shit.
yeah.
True.
I think both y'all amazing points. Mikey was cooking. I wanted to turn on the dreams and nightmares beat for a minute, but uh, I'm gonna get my Stephen A on right now from people who told me. I mean, I was in the building with people who were very close to him. That motherfucker was upset, like upset to the point where they thought he was gonna start throwing some shit in there. So I agree with y'all. I don't think that their job is on the line currently, but I think Ryan Poles, I think Matt Eberflus, I think that entire coaching staff, if this
Hmm.
season continue, they lose on Sunday. And we all know they're gonna lose next week in Arrowhead. I'm only going to that game because I want to see. I'm such a big NFL fan. I want to actually be in Arrowhead Stadium. Knock that off my to-do list. You know what I'm saying? But that's gonna be a blowout too. If you're 0-3 coming home to go against the Denver Broncos, no, it's the Denver Broncos or the Raiders.
Yeah, it's the Broncos. It's the
It's the
Broncos.
Broncos.
It's the Broncos. I would not put it against Kevin Warren to force Ryan Poles to do a mid-season firing. I think if it gets to that point, and it's
Ooh.
we looking at 0-4 dead in the eye, I think that can happen. That's why I think it's a massive game. You bring up the right point, Bang. This is not Kevin Warren's guy, and I think there's something that I paid attention to in the first press conference. Ryan Poles looked uncomfortable because he had just got this power, and then all of a sudden McCaskey's like, no, he's the head nigga in charge now. He's the nigga who gets to make all the calls. It's not just the stadium. He's running football operations too. And I feel like he's going to finally feel the heat in the kitchen. And that's why, I hope everything is good with Alan Williams. I don't know what's going on. I hope everything is good with him. I don't think this is 100% a personal reasons decision. I think this is fluke like you said, Mikey. This is my defense. So even I got somebody else running, I'm gonna be the one who's gonna get the brunt of it if it does not go the way that they brought me in here to go. So I think that even if he wasn't, he probably would have been calling some plays on the side that we didn't know about. So I'm
True.
very interested to see what's gonna happen on Sunday if not only they win, and also if that defense looks better. Because then there's going to be an issue there. I think this game right here it's must win, not just because of the season. I think that this entire rebuild or whatever rests on Baker Mayfield, which is crazy. Like, and it just can't be a win. It has to be like you said, Mikey, on Twitter. I need Justin to throw a couple tutties. I need to see him be confident. And I
Not
do
run
think
for him, throw
not
for
run
him.
for
Throw
him,
'em.
throw them joints. I need to see anticipatory throws. I was in the booth last week. Me and my man Herb, we like throw the ball. And there's a certain plays where it's like he's like me when I play Madden sometimes. Well, I'm waiting for the nigga to get open. No,
Mm-hmm.
throw that joint. You know what I'm saying? And that's to me is what I'm afraid of. When I went back and watched the film, I'm not Getsy still called a terrible game, but I saw way more plays that were left on the field than what Getsy called. And Getsy also kind of brought that up in his press conference. And one last thing before I give it back to Mikey, you had a great point about that offensive line with Kirk Cousins. He was able to do the job. You should be able to do the job. You know what I'm saying? Dave tells me need a 6-piece. No, that Mitch six touchdown game was fool. Let's be real, nigga. Like that was the worst defense I've ever seen in my life.
I think about three of those were on pitches.
Yeah, like even his crazy. Yeah, the Bears need to win, but let's just say they lost by a field goal, but Justin had 3-4 touchdowns. I can live with that, honestly. Like, of course you need to win, but I need to see something from this kid.
Justin got to give you 250. Justin got to give you 250 with 3 touchdowns. He got to
Yeah.
look sexy.
And that
Yeah.
blitz is not gonna get any work and get any better. This is one of the most top blitzing teams in the
Oh
NFL.
no, they're gonna pin their ears back.
Bunny Colvin finna be sending a blitz all
Bunny
day
Colvin.
on Sunday. Bunny Amsterdam finna be coming at Justin on Sunday. A man need to get it together.
No, I 100% feel you. And I had said it needs to be. I I don't agree with, like, we're at the point right now where I don't agree with it. We could lose a 1 point game, a 3 point game, but Justin looks good. Like, nah, we gotta fucking win for the
Hmm.
Let me
overall
let me
building.
ask you this though. Let me ask you this though. Let's just say the defense makes a mistake at the end, but of course you
No,
don't want to lose.
No,
But if Justin
no,
looks
they
good, you gotta win that.
no, because if Justin look good, we're still in the same spot. That's 12 straight L's. Everybody, listen,
Right.
look at how motherfuckers are acting in that building right now. Jaquan Brisket, everybody off of Sunday. If they lose a 12th straight game, like, when is it gonna end? Because like you said, you're gonna go to Arrowhead. And if for some reason the Jags take care of the Chiefs this week and the Chiefs are 0-2, my God, Dios mío, we are gonna get 60 piece because the
Woo!
Chief. We are gonna get crazy,
that shit go.
crazy, crazy.
That shit gonna
Patrick
look.
Mahomes. That's just gonna be an ESPN classic the next day on
That's
NFL
Hey,
Network.
that
that
joint gonna
shit
be
gonna
on.
look like. That
Go ahead.
shit gonna look like Mount Carmel versus Juarez, my nigga. That, that shit gonna look like Mount Carmel versus Juarez.
That joint
Damn,
gonna
We
man.
be
going
so
against them?
nasty.
Oh my.
Ah,
That game gonna be so nasty. It's gonna be on Brashers before Monday Night Football kicks
You know
off.
what I'm
That's
saying?
how bad
Like,
it's gonna look.
entire city gets fucked in Kansas City. You
Yeah,
know,
bro.
but that's where we're at, and I just don't know if they have it in them with everything that we saw to make all of those adjustments in 7 days. You know what I'm saying? And especially you go on the road. I don't know if this team is mentally capable to go on the road after what just happened at the crib. You know, this is the second time these motherfuckers are talking about manufacturing juice. They were saying that Justin needed to bring the juice and the offense needed to bring the juice in fucking the second week of practices in August. Now you're talking about after week one, oh, we need to bring the energy. Like, at some point, where does that fall on? Does that fall on the players or does that fall on the coaching staff? Is
oh
the
that
coaches
the coaching staff.
the
Look,
coaching staff not inspiring and bringing enough? You know what I'm
no,
saying?
Let-
So
Mikey, look at Coach Eberflus, fam. What the fuck is inspiring about Eberflus?
nothing, nothing, nothing. I don't even know why we hired the motherfucker. Let's be real. The Colts were 100% good letting him go. He never had a top 10 defense. The shit was like at best like 16th, 17th. He was mid. They hired, you know what? This my man Debo in the chat, and I'm gonna give him credit to this. We are in the Jim Boylan era of the Chicago Bears.
Ooh,
Listen,
Oh
that was
my
the type of
god.
that is the type of hire that this was. Look at what the fuck we talking about. It's November 15th, 2023. Pose just came in last January. We are already talking about cleaning house, new quarterback, everything. Like, this shit has gone. This is not what we
ooh.
expected going into year two. We have a clown show. You have a head coach that doesn't know why DJ Moore came off the field after two back-to-back receptions. You got Chase Claypool not wanting to block. You got Nate Davis not wanting to play. You know what I'm saying? You got a quarterback that doesn't want to let go of the rock. Now you got a DC who, like we said, we hope everything is cool. These personal reasons, but if it's something more than that, like, come on, fam, it's only week fucking two. It's only week fucking two, and we're already fucking talking through the media and trying to rah rah, and that shit is not where we were supposed to be at
Yeah,
this point of the rebuild.
yeah,
God
man.
damn, you said Jim Boy.
Yeah, my man.
We
Yeah,
fucked.
hey, man. Look, let's move this on.
Mm.
Before we get to our actual picks, confidence level on a scale of 1 to 10. How confident are you? And I know this is funny after what we just talked about for the last 25 minutes. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your confidence level heading into Sunday that the Bears can win this game?
I'll switch the question for you, fam. My
Hey, go
confidence
ahead.
level was 10 that Kevin Warren gonna swing on the nigga at some point in this game. Look, my confidence level for the Bears to win this game is at a 2, and it's not hyperbole. It's not me just jumping out the body and hot taking and all of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, this is a road game. We're going to Tampa Bay to play Tampa Bay. This is a home game for them. So you automatically look at the home team with the advantage. And yeah, we travel well and all of that stuff. We have all the reasons to think, well, let me rephrase that. You would think that we have all of the confidence that Raymond James Stadium can sound like a home game for the Bears. But what I believe that the Bears don't understand is that Bears fans are pissed. And when you come out like you did against Green Bay, The confidence level for all of us is 5 and under. So why we gonna go to another stadium to see you wet the bed? So my confidence level was at a 2, and it's only at a 2 because we going up against Baker Mayfield. But
You said only two because we're going up against
it's
Baker.
only a 2 because as you said, Mikey, that defense is going to be blitz heavy. And
Yeah, man.
if Justin Fields is a shattered quarterback, if Justin Fields is thinking too much, you know what's going to fuck you up? A goddamn blitz. You know
Yeah.
what's going to mess you up? Is Levante David coming around that corner or through
Boy,
that middle. Boy,
it's
that
a
right there.
I'm with you. I'm not as low as a 2. I'm about at like a 3 or 4. So we in the
You
same
might as
neighborhood.
well.
Like
I
we
would
yeah,
say
we
neighborhood.
same thing. It's just
Same thing.
to me, it's just like I have no faith, bro. I have no faith in not just this game. I have no faith in this season. It's just quickly how stuff changes in a week. Like losing to the Packers was not something that I'd have been shocked about because that's just Bear stuff. It's the way they went about it. Like they lost worse than they did. I went to both Packer games last year. They put up a fight in both of them joints, and they just got it. It was just ridiculous. So you're playing up against a quarterback that's playing with house money. You going up against a defense they know y'all saw. And this is what tape don't lie. If we saw, we the fans, what you think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense was looking at on film all this week? They know
Food.
soft. They know they soft. I don't care if they best corners out. That means nothing to me until Justin consistently makes these throws. And look, I love Justin. I didn't. I cop fleas for him. At the end of the day, I'm a Chicago Bears fan, bro. Yes, I'm a member of the Bears media. I'm a Bears fan. It's about that jersey, not the name on the back. I will personally drop this nigga off at O'Hare for Caleb Williams if he does not wake up. I'm tired of talking about potential. I'm tired of talking about well, he's got the talent. Do it. So I need to see something this week. I'm not confident whatsoever, but that's pretty much what I got.
Nah, I'm with y'all. My shit is at a 1 until they prove you. Kind of like how Herb said on last week. Until they show you that they can win, then I'm my confidence level as a 1. Are they going to are they going to learn how in 7 days, something that they haven't been able to do all summer, how to generate a pass rush with 4 because that's his scheme? Are they going to learn how to protect Justin Fields and stay in the pocket? Are they going to clean up their penalties? Are they going to learn how to fucking catch the ball? Is the quarterback going to learn how to throw the ball? And are they going to be able to go do that on the road in a game where it's going to be about 90 degrees? You got Nate Davis at right. You're already down, Tevin Jenkins at left guard, right? So you got some people that are banged up. What is your depth going to look like when Nate Davis is sucking wind, 4 plays into the game at 1:15 p.m. because he can't stay on the fucking field because he's hot as shit and, you know what I'm saying, out of shape. So I have zero confidence in the Bears winning this game. I'm gonna give them a 1, just like you said, because it's Baker Mayfield. But I will tell you this: Baker Mayfield will light up any defense if you're able to give him time in the pocket. He showed that
Yep.
last week, and when they have, we're down Kyler Gordon, so Chris Godwin,
Not only we down,
might fucking eat.
not only we down Kyler Gordon, I just got emailed the Bears injury report. Josh Blackwell is not playing
So that is
on
his backup.
Sunday.
So
Yeah,
now
that's
you're looking right. So now you're looking at: are we throwing our rookie
Smith.
cornerback? Are we throwing Stevenson into nickel, and now you're playing somebody on the outside?
You
So now
playing
you
Smith on the
already.
outside?
That's what I'm thinking. And you throw Smith on the outside since they were competing for the outside corner because
yeah.
Tyreek Stevenson did play a little bit of nickel in Miami. But you know what I'm saying? Like now you already switching shit up, and we, 14 days into the season. So I don't. I would obviously we all are Bears fans. We want to see a W, but I don't know how they fixed all of those things in such a short amount of time, especially with Scott, what you were just saying of just where their mindset was and what the mood was up in Hallis Hall. Motherfuckers don't sound charged up or invigorated to go and right the ship. They sound defeated already.
They were playing Hate Me Now at practice, and I rolled the biggest eyes of all time. I was like, if you don't get the fuck about it.
Come on, man.
All right, Scott. Let me ask you a question since you be at practice. Who is the heart and soul of the team?
Eddie Jackson.
That tells
Eddie
you
Jackson.
everything. That tells you everything.
No, this is what was concerning to me. This is what Jaquan said. Jaquan said he texted Justin. Not Justin text him. He just text Justin about energy and about getting the guys energized because he didn't like how quiet the locker room
You can't
was.
trust no
I'm like,
motherfucking vegan to fucking fire you up.
oh no, he's a pescatarian now.
That motherfucker
He's a
need to go to Portillo's, Al's Beef, get him a burger. He need to go to North Avenue in Pulaski, go to Taco Naso and get him some fucking
Oh
carne
man.
asada tacos. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of here with this shit.
you
You
gotta go to
can't, you know what I'm saying?
Maxwell's,
That's
bro.
just, he already starting on that Cam Newton shit. No, go get you some fucking real food. Go to my well-eyes crib on Lawrence and Pulaski. She gonna take care of you. Because what the fuck? Because he's clearly not right in the head. What the
I'm a,
fuck do you need to be text about getting hyped? Like, this is all bad. I told y'all Black Mitch Trubisky vibes, and I'm getting it because Mitch had the same thing. Everybody loved him. Big
turn the
arm.
TVs off.
But he couldn't fucking
So wait a
process.
minute.
And
So wait a minute. I got a question here.
His man is upset
So the
now.
same Justin Fields. Wait a minute. Y'all telling me the same Justin Fields that during the pandemic was like, "Fuck this, I want to play," doing interviews and all of that shit, talking about some how he wants to play and all of this shit, is now in the NFL locker room, basically like this.
Being told by
That's what y'all
somebody who's
telling me.
been in the league less than him,
And the
shorter time than
same,
him.
that we need to, yeah, fam. Y'all told me everything I need to know about this season. Fuck this season. Fuck this Bears season. If that's what we getting right now, if we getting the defensive guy who I love Jaquan Brisker, motherfucker be risking his life every goddamn play. So I love his heart. I just don't like what he said on 670 to score. But you're telling me that that man right there called Justin and was like, yo, man, we need some new energy. The fact that anybody has to tell you that we need more energy lets me know that you not gonna bring it because anything is gonna be fake.
you
Because not just gonna be at the crib like, oh, so how can I get the guys energized?
and
Oh,
you
fam,
can't
what
say
the fuck, Jack?
facts, and you can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna lead by my play on the field" when you gunshot. What you can't throw, like if you know what I'm saying. We know you could run the ball. We know you got that in your bag. You know what I'm saying. We know you could do that, but that's not sustainable, and that's not how you're gonna win games long term. Throw the fucking ball. They didn't go and request and demand that DJ Moore be in this trade for the motherfucker to have 2 targets. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of the play calling was bad. I know that there's fault on everybody, but when motherfuckers are open. Throw the fucking ball. That's what
Yeah,
you get paid to do. And it's crazy because we've all seen him do it. This is the same motherfucker that lit Clemson up for 6 TDs and had Trevor Lawrence
tainted.
looking fucking crazy. And you know what I'm saying? And got hit, broken ribs, stood in the game, still threw 3 more. Like we've seen it. It's not like we're basing it all on potential and hopes and wishes. We've fucking seen it. But he hasn't showed it. And at this point where we're at, we're in year 3. He's going into start 29 of his career. It's looking like this is what he is. He's just a 60% quarterback with,
Yeah,
that has 29 starts with 29 fumbles and 25 TDs and 22 interceptions, and he's just looking mid. And I don't know if that's a product of the Bears. I don't know if that's just because he's not good, but it's all bad. It's all bad.
You know what?
yeah. What?
Y'all talk, man, because I'm gonna write something down on this iPad. I'm gonna write something
Well,
down on this iPad. Go ahead.
we gotta wrap this up. I know Mikey's gotta get up out of here, so let's go
Yeah,
to
this will be
our
quick. Go
picks.
ahead.
We gonna go to our picks. Mikey, what's the score you got for Sunday?
Oh, I got the Bears 47-13. I'm
I'm
fucking
about
with
to
you.
say what?
I'm fucking with you after all that. No, no, no. I
Like, after
mean,
all of that,
honestly, we probably looking at like I think we're probably with our defense we're probably looking at another 24-20 game. Um I'm just gonna say that the Bucks are gonna win 24-20.
Bang, you have something to show. Let me zoom in on this
Let me try.
right here.
If we tried,
We
we
fried.
We
fried.
we tried. So what's the score?
Everything, everything that y'all told me today has fucked up my confidence for the Bears and this whole entire regime. And Scott, I don't know if you remember, but I told you that Flus ain't lasting 3 years.
You did say that. I
And
didn't disagree with you, by the way.
you didn't disagree with me. I said, yeah, this hire is a 3 year hire. Um, but I have the Bears losing 24-21.
Uh,
Um,
uh,
it's just real disappointing to hear some of the things that I'm hearing in that locker room, which feels like we have to manufacture confidence. We have to manufacture juice. We have to manufacture all of these things that should come with being a football fan, especially when it's in a game that you should win. I hate to bring up Aaron Rodgers. That motherfucker lost what, 4 or 5 games in a row?
mm,
And he looked at the press
it
and
said relax.
said, relax. It's going to be okay. There is nobody on that team that gives you that confidence. Not one person. Not Justin, not Khalil Herbert, not Jaquan Brisker, not Eddie Jackson, not Tremaine Edwards,
And not the
not
coaching
TJ,
staff. And
and
not the
not the
coaching
coaching
staff,
staff.
most
And
importantly.
And
and not
even
the
with
coaching staff, and not Ryan Poles. There is nobody on this team that make you go, you know what, we'll be all right against a team that you should beat. So I can't give them this game or believe they'll win this game because there's nobody giving me the confidence. There's nobody showing me the swagger. That is nobody that's grabbing me and saying, hey, we good. Bears 21, Tampa Bay 24. And this will be the beginning of the end of the season for the Bears. And we will have all new everything next season.
once again, I mean, y'all just hit the nail on the head, man. Like you saying, what Aaron Rodgers said. I'm just gonna take it to the coach's perspective. Remember a couple years ago when the Patriots got absolute shellacked in their first game against Kansas City Chiefs? Absolute shellacked. What did Bill Belichick say? He went up there on the Cincinnati. Oh, Tom Brady looks washed on the Cincinnati. Are you gonna play Jimmy Garoppolo on the Cincinnati? And what them niggas do? They went to motherfucking Cincinnati and my man Brady, my man Thomas was out there. You can hear the rulers back from Jay-Z playing in the background. Touchdown, nigga. Touchdown, nigga. Belichick defense flying. There's nobody on this team that gives me confidence. Not only am I picking the Bears to lose this game, this is going to be a classic Bears loss because they're going to start off good. Like you said, Mikey, about putting DJ Moore on the parlay. DJ Moore is going to start off great because they're going to force feed that nigga. They're going
Yeah.
to force feed that nigga early. I think the Bears go up like 14-0 to start the game. And we going to think, oh, they're making a turn. The defense is going to play decent. And then that's when the bullshit is going to start. Then they're going to come back. Justin's going to start looking crazy. Baker's going to start slinging it. I've got Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning 24-17 in a very disappointing game. I just don't have no faith. Like, I have none. Zero. I would love to be wrong. Prove me wrong. I'm not ready for the season to be over in the week 2, and that's going to make this extremely long for somebody who has to cover this team. So I want to at least have some type of intrigue the rest of the year, and it's coming up on a year since y'all won a football game. Win a
October
damn
24th.
thing. October
October
24th.
24th.
My birthday is October 26th. I will be 35 in like a month. Y'all have not won a game my entire year of being 34. My entire year. So I hope that comes to an end. I personally just do not see it happening, man. So that concludes our local coverage. I'm gonna wrap this up with my goofy mog of the week here, man. This is like the perfect thing to me to talk about, man. I'm gonna give it to Colorado State's head coach, Jay Norvell, man. He went out there in this podcast. I don't even know what the name of the podcast was. It really doesn't matter what the name of the podcast was. He went out there and kind of tried to hype his team up, but didn't go about it the right way, as they'll be playing Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes tomorrow in the game of the week on Fox. They've already got First Take was there today. Shannon, Stephen A, Molly, what's called Dion brought the shades for the entire First Take crew. College Game Day is going to be there. Pat McAfee had The Rock. Pat McAfee had The Rock on his show today in Boulder. So it's going to be a big game tomorrow. But this is what the coach said. When I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and glasses off. That's what my mother taught me, you square-ass nigga. Okay, now here is where I have a problem. Now y'all know I'm team where Prime go, I go. It doesn't matter. I'm not a college football fan, but where Prime goes, I'm rooting for them. Why would you continuously give a guy, an all-time great, that fuel? Because we're talking about coach-player relationships. This team loves Deion. Like that's their actual father outside, Shadur and Shiloh, that's actually his actual father. They're going to ride for him. Deion, great athletes. They just need a little bit because they're already motivated inside. They just need a little bit. And really what he's doing is adding fuel to the fire. And I think this is going to be a blowout of epic proportions. I'm not going to be able to watch the game. I got something to do. But in the words of the greatest rapper of all time, don't bark up that tree will fall on you. That is exactly what is going to happen tomorrow afternoon in Boulder, Colorado. So that is my Goofy Mog of the week. Before we get up out of here, is there anything y'all want to say before we close?
Kevin Warren, do your thing. Show us what a brother can do when he's in charge of a charter franchise in the National Football League, the Chicago Bears. But I also challenge him to go to a game at one of these black establishments that don't know who he is and listen to how them black brothers and sisters in there and the white boys clown your Chicago Bears. And you will understand the frustration that us three Bears fans is throwing out there today.
Amen.
Mike, you got
Amen.
anything you want to close with, or that's all you got to?
All I'm gonna say is Justin Fields throw the fucking ball,
Throw the ball, my G.
and Lucas Giolito's giving up about 7 earned runs today. Take the motherfucking Rangers. Take the fucking Twins. Take the Phillies. We getting paid.
Yes, sir, man. This has been yet another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. It's your boy Scott. You know to follow me on Twitter, Instagram at BarbChestScott. Follow JR Bang at JR Bang. Follow Mikey at Junior_Solito on Twitter. If you missed this will be on HB Media right now. I'm going to spend the next couple hours putting this up on all the feeds while my co-hosts enjoyed their weekend. I can't do that right now. So y'all enjoy that. We'll be back on Monday. Mikey will be out all the next week, but he will have parlay information for y'all next week. We're going to go a little earlier on Monday before the doubleheader on Monday Night Football, man. So that's all we got for y'all. We going to holler at y'all. We up out of here.
Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna